Most people who try to start an AI automation agency never get real clients. They get stuck building solutions that nobody asked for, spamming generic cold emails, or chasing the latest AI trend, while real businesses are writing six-figure checks for completely different solutions. I've spent nearly 2 years building my AI automation agency, generating six figures annually and helping transform over 30 businesses into AI-first operations. I've had over 500 AI sales calls, closed deals ranging from $3,000 to $40,000, and made every mistake that you can imagine along the way. Today, I'm just going to be showing you everything that I learned, the good, the bad, and the expensive mistakes, so that you can build a real AI service business without wasting months on things that do not matter. Now, before we dive in, if you don't already know who I am, and if you're new to this channel, let me just go ahead and establish why you should be listening to me. I've generated over six figures in AI service revenue. We've worked with nearly 30 different businesses. We've helped clients save over 40 hours per week while increasing their bottom line. We've had over 500 AI agency sales calls, and we know exactly what businesses pay for. We've built systems that command $10,000 to $40,000 plus in project fees, and created a framework that's helped hundreds get their first clients. Additionally, across all the platforms that I have, I've collected nearly 100,000 followers teaching AI and showcasing practical solutions that we've built. Now, I'm not here to promise overnight success. This is the real playbook, what actually works versus what sounds good on YouTube. So before we dive into the video, I wanted to just mention that I will be sharing the entire frameworks and strategies that I'm about to be showing you in my free community, where you can get access to all the templates, connect with others implementing these exact systems, and ask me questions directly. So link is going to be down below in the description. We have over now 12,000 members, and it's just a great place to meet other AI enthusiasts and entrepreneurs, join competitions, and so much more. So again, the link is going to be down below in the description. Would love to have you in there. Now, here's the massive problem that nobody is talking about. While everybody's building these chatbots and voice agents, businesses, they're actually paying $10,000 plus for completely different AI solutions. The biggest mistake that I made and see everyone else is making is starting with solutions and the technical instead of pain points. Now, if you want actual clients, you need to flip the script. You need to start with real business pain points and work backwards to the solution. Now, I used to think that every automation was valuable. It's not. A company would rather pay $20,000 for a solution that increases their revenue by $50,000 per month than pay $2,000 for a chatbot that saves their support team 5 hours per week. So instead of building individual tools, you need to start building complete business transformation systems. And that is when your pricing will go from $2,000 to $20,000 plus per project. Now, after hundreds of discovery calls and implementations, here's what businesses actually are writing big checks for. First, we have the sales automation and lead generation systems ranging from $15,000 to $40,000. And these aren't just simple chatbots. These are comprehensive sales infrastructures with intelligent prospect identification that monitors job boards, company websites, and social media for buying signals, automated research and enrichment, all gathering detailed company profiles, multi-channel outreach orchestration across email, LinkedIn, and phone. And there's dynamic nurturing sequences that adapt based on prospect behavior, and intelligent lead scoring that tells sales teams exactly which prospects to be calling first. Secondly, we have content creation and marketing engines, and this can be anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000. And these aren't just basic content generators, but actually comprehensive systems that analyze market trends and competitor content to inform strategy, generate multi-format content across all channels while maintaining brand voice, implement advanced SEO optimization for organic traffic, and even track performance to continuously optimize based on the data. Third, we have operational workflow solutions ranging anywhere from a few $1,000s to $30,000 that eliminate bottlenecks, preventing scaling through client onboarding automations, all handling everything from welcome sequences to project setup, document processing systems that can categorize, analyze, and even extract key information. We have quality control and compliance monitoring across all business processes, and project management systems that optimize team assignments and predict timelines. Fourth, we have data processing and analytics systems that range from $12,000 to $50,000. Now, this is the most sophisticated category that turns any raw data into strategic advantages through advanced analytic platforms, all integrating data from multiple business systems, predictive modeling that forecasts any trends and identifies the problems before they actually occur. On top of that, there's real-time optimization systems that can automatically adjust pricing, inventory, and resource allocation, and competitive intelligence that's gathering that data and monitoring the market changes. But here's the real unlock. Here's the real unlock. The clients writing the biggest checks, they aren't buying just one of these categories. They're hiring an AI transformation partner to make them AI first across the board with all of these different systems, all working seamlessly together. And what they really want is they want a roadmap, not just a tool, not just some isolated workflow. They want somebody who can actually audit the business and stack rank opportunities and sequence quick wins to operational levels to strategic systems. They want ownership of the outcomes, not we'll set up end-to-end for you, but we'll reduce AHT by 35% and cut onboarding time in half for you. They need an operating model with agents, data, memory, and governance, and even change management that keeps working all after the demo. And they want a single throat to choke. So they just want an accountable partner, all coordinating the vendors in security and delivery. And the engagement model that commands $50,000 to $100,000 plus projects works like this. First, we'll be going through a discovery audit, just taking 1 to 2 weeks to clarify the outcomes, map the processes, quantify the pain, and deliver a ranked backlog with ROI assumptions. Then we have feasibility and exploration, and this can span from about 1 to 2 weeks. And this is just to prove access through authorization, read/write on critical systems, data mapping, risks, and a thin slice test plan, where you can buy answers before you actually buy hours. And then there is the proof of concept stage. And this is going to last about 3 to 4 weeks, just creating one thin valuable slice in a production like sandbox with acceptance tests for success rate, P95 latency, and error handling. Next is rollout and scale, all just using milestones to turn that slice into a system. And then from there, you can add agents department by department and instrument everything with monitoring logs and dashboards. Finally, there is just ongoing partnerships through retainers by providing, monthly optimization, new use cases, model and tool swaps behind an adapter layer, and quarterly roadmap resets. Now, the partner deliverables that de-risk adoption, it includes an AI operating model where you have a one-pager, and this is just covering any target KPIs, sequencing and governance, system mapping and data, inventory documenting and syncs and PII, PHI handling, and much, much more. Now, your service models and pricing strategy, these should include self-managed, and this is just where you are going to be implementing and the client is going to essentially be running it for the lowest fee. Then we have the maintenance only, and this is where the client is hosting and you just keep it healthy for a monthly fee. And then next we have the fully managed option, and this is going to be our preferred option where we actually just host, maintain, and optimize for MRR plus usage and a dedicated AI team just offering a fixed monthly retainer for a set number of developers or operators hours when roadmaps are, just shifting quite frequently. So with this, your pricing anchor, it should be about 10 to 20% of annual impact. All this calculated as savings plus revenue lift minus the tool costs. And of course, you'll want to include a usage budget for the LLM or API calls based on a run frequency, since a lead ingestion bot is very different from a voice agent that runs all day. Now, some key lessons that we have learned from this is that scoping is everything. So you need to be expecting multiple sessions because under scoping data and the complexity of it, or vendor limits or compliance, it creates a lot of gray areas and it introduces scope creep. And it sets the expectation that agents deliver 85 to 90% efficiency, not magic. Now retainers, these are going to be beating any one-offs, since the first project, it's usually going to be fairly foundational with data ingestion and training, and the value just compounds when you actually expand horizontally inside of the same client. So with all this being said, don't sell tools. Start selling outcomes by hiding vendor choices behind an adapter layer so that you can swap models and providers without breaking any promises. Now, something that you can easily say to your prospects that you're trying to sell to is that if you want a bot, lots of folks can sell you one. But if you want an AI operating model, something with metrics, governance, and a roadmap that actually compounds, we are your team. Now this section, this is where most people actually get it wrong. You are not building agents the same way that you are building automations. Automations, they are going to be like vending machines where you insert a coin, you get a candy bar. So they work for basic workflows. Agents, these are going to be adaptive systems that can actually understand context and hold memory and make decisions and hold conversations and reach into databases and reason and escalate from there. Now, most importantly, they can also just figure out what to do and when to do it. So before touching any tools or writing out exactly what this agent is supposed to be doing, you need to answer 3 questions. What is this agent's role? If it were a person on your team, what job title would it have? And what is the expected outcome of it? So this is where you have to be super specific. So you can consider things like book sales calls or disqualify leads or generate reports. And then like, what context does this agent need? What do you define as success? And every agent, it begins with a trigger where it's going to be gathering context by pulling relevant data. It integrates business logic through LLMs, and it moves into action just like booking calls or sending emails. Another thing to ask is what elevates an agent from simple script to digital teammate? Well, it's going to be memory. So without memory, every interaction, it resets. Now the agent, it cannot learn, it cannot reference, it can't look at past conversations or build rapport. Beyond this, we have department by department implementation, and it's going to work like this. So for sales transformations, you have a lead qualification agent, which is just triggering on form submissions, following up agents, delivering contextual nudges instead of generic check-ins, and a proposal agent just drafting custom documents from the call data. For operations and onboarding, there's going to be a welcome agent just triggering everything that new customers need, check-in agent watching for key milestones, and education agent just sending targeted resources based on behavior. So for finance, you can implement an invoicing agent, which is just watching for project milestones, reminder agents for any overdue payments, and a receipt processing agent just using OCR for expense categorization. For support, you can deploy an inbox agent just reading, classifying, and responding to common issues, plus a knowledge-based agent that is consulting documentation. Now these agents, they connect into a living ecosystem where they're passing data and triggering each other like a well-trained team that really never sleeps. So your pricing strategy, it must evolve as you gain experience. So there are going to be 3 distinct phases that every successful AI service provider. So phase 1, this is going to be foundation building, covering 1 to 2 projects where you're just going to be working for free or at cost to build real world experience and compelling case studies. So this typically, it lasts between 1 to 2 months, and it's crucial just because this is where you learn the difference between any theoretical knowledge and practical implementation. So finding the right free projects, it does require strategy, not desperation though. So you want to be looking for businesses in your network with obvious automation opportunities that you can solve easily. So from here, just set some clear boundaries and expectations. So document these projects more thoroughly than any of the paid ones, because the case studies, they become marketing assets worth tens of thousands in future sales. Phase 2, this is going to be profit development, spanning anywhere from 3 to 12 projects where you're implementing cost plus pricing with systematic markups. So this is where you will want to calculate any actual project cost, including the development time and the tools, and then apply markups from there. So you could 2x for the projects of 3 to 6, and then 2.5x for projects, let's say 7 through 10, and then 3x as you develop specialized expertise. Additionally, it would be worth requesting about 50% upfront to just cover the costs, and then 50% on completion. And this becomes just pure profit. So this protects any cash flow while you're demonstrating professionalism with your client. Phase 3, this is all about value-based pricing, anywhere from $15,000 to $40,000 plus projects where you stop selling time or implementations and you are starting to sell guaranteed business outcomes. This does require understanding your client's business economics deeply enough to quantify exactly how much your solution is going to be worth to them. So this will require an understanding of your client's business economics deeply enough to actually quantify exactly how much your solution is going to be worth it to them. So you will want to actually map their business value chains to identify where automation actually fits into revenue generation, cost reduction, or even risk mitigation. And your price, it should represent about 10 to 20% of the annual value that you are going to be delivering, and creating compelling returns while ensuring that appropriate compensation. Now, some additional advanced pricing strategies that we've actually learned to include is performance guarantees that just eliminate client risk while demonstrating confidence with statements like you can increase lead qualification efficiency by 40% within 60 days or receive a full refund. You could also use tiered pricing to create 3 options where middle provides the best perceived value, while the premium is going to include everything serious clients need. Beyond this, for any payment structures on larger engagements, you can be using a milestone-based payment offer where you're going to be just offering discounts for full upfront payment and then standard rates for milestones and premium for any extended terms like 12 months, 2 years. And speaking of pricing and getting started, if you're finding this valuable and you do want to connect with others who are implementing these exact pricing strategies, then definitely check out my free community. The link is down below in the description. We have tons of members sharing any of their wins, pricing templates, and supporting each other through their journey. Now getting into the most important piece, which is going to be acquiring clients. Cold email, this is going to be the best channel for beginners because it does have dramatically lower cost per acquisition than anything else like ads. So $0 to $50 versus hundreds or thousands. This is where it's going to allow you for complete targeting control and provide direct market feedback. So what we have is a personalization framework, and it works like this. So you could just research your prospect through their website, LinkedIn, or any recent news, and then write a template with variables for personalized parts. But the thing is, you want to keep it about 3 to 5 sentences max, and also end with a clear call to action. So here is just a quick example. Hey name, I saw you hired a new operations manager or launched a new product or got a review about slow response times. I help industry businesses automate pain point so that you never deal with problem again. Is it worth a quick call to see if I can help? Now, it is worth mentioning that Loom videos, these are the 3x reply rate cheat code. So the idea is to keep videos under 2 minutes, just showing their website or LinkedIn at the first screen. So you do want to be pointing out some real bottleneck and actually visually walking through how you would be fixing it for them. So the key is you want to be showing, a quick demo of the system, how you built it, how it helped someone save X hours or made X revenue, and believe it could do the same thing for them. In Looms, they work because it's asynchronous, it's personal, where they can actually see your face, hear your voice, and they're rare. I've had prospects reply just saying thanks for taking the time. Nobody ever does this for me. Next up is going to be Upwork, and this is going to be fantastic for building initial credibility despite the reputation that it so often gets. So this is just where you're going to be searching for jobs, matching your skills, writing custom proposals, and just building quick demos while applying. And you will want to be saying within your demos or your Loom videos, I just built this draft of the system that you described. Here's a walkthrough. If you like it, I'll finish it. I won't charge you until you're happy. And this build first, sell second approach, it gets you in the door, it builds portfolio, and it provides real world experience very fast. Now, if you are building proof with 0 case studies, this is going to involve several strategies. First, it's going to be creating internal projects just by automating something for yourself and documenting those results. Another thing you can be doing is doing free or discounted work by offering to automate a process for a local business, a friend, or a nonprofit in exchange for a testimonial. So you can use something like, I just built this frame where when prospects ask for proof, you describe the system that you built, even if for yourself. Beyond this is you will want to offer guarantees, just stating like, if we don't deliver agreed results, you do not pay. And this just completely removes the risk from their end, making it, easier to say yes to you. You essentially want to make them feel dumb for not wanting to work with you. Running discovery calls, this effectively just means that you are listening more than you are talking. So you'll want to just start by asking about current processes and what is working and what is not. So you want to just dig into their pain points and really let them vent. Now, keep in mind, the more that they are talking about their frustrations and their pain points, the more they want a solution. So you can start structuring your calls essentially just by asking walk me through how you currently handle this. And you could diagnose asking, if you can wave a magic wand and fix one thing, what would it be? And then from there, you can come up with a solution, just explaining okay, here is how I would automate X so you never deal with Y problem again. And beyond this, you can handle objections with logic and empathy. So for any beginners, you can just offer pilot projects or guarantees. You can say like, let's start small. If you don't see results, you do not pay. And of course, the best calls, these are just going to be conversations. So if you're genuinely curious about their business and focused on helping, you will do fine. Just don't try to sound like a closer. Be real, be authentic, and very genuine. Now, handling any common objections, this is going to require specific responses. So when they say it's too expensive, well, redirect to the cost of not solving the problem. So you could say, you mentioned spending 30 hours per week on manual processes at $40 per hour. That is $62,400 annually. My $18,000 solution eliminates 80% of that cost, saving nearly $50,000 per year while paying for itself in under 5 months. And then if they ask, like, what if it doesn't work? Well, this is where you have to eliminate the risk entirely, where you can just say, I'm completely confident in the results to offer a comprehensive 90-day guarantee. If you don't achieve promised efficiency and cost savings, you're going to be paying nothing. So it's all about finding like what is the actual reason that they're not willing to move forward. So something that I often do is asking, on a scale of 1 to 10, just to get a sense of things, where are you at in terms of moving forward? They'll say maybe a 7. Okay, well, why is it a 7? What can I do to take you to a 10? And then they will, translate to you, okay, well, I'm scared that this is going to fail. I've been screwed over in the past, in which you could come back to them with some sort of guarantee included within your offer to combat any of that. So at the end of the day, you just have to be brutally honest with them and sometimes just go through some pain and be confrontational and get them to come up with those answers so that you can actually eventually close them and get your first or many clients. So now I just want to discuss some of our very early mistakes, which is mostly around scoping. So anything like logging into client systems, building workflows, and handing them over with no formal scoping process is something that we did pretty often. So all of this, it really leads to unclear boundaries and underestimated efforts and a lot of scope creep. Now, some critical scoping areas that we often missed included data complexity, all covering, volume, structure, update frequency, and even variability or software functionality, just requiring exact capabilities that were needed for integrations and realistic expectations. Since agents, they provide about 85 to 90% efficiency, not always full automation. Now, proper scoping, it impacts timeline directly and the proof of concept and pricing and even maintenance. So expecting to close deals after a single 30-minute call, it's often pretty unrealistic. Another mistake is that transitioning to retainers, it just means shifting from one-off builds to monthly recurring revenue. So your ideal clients, they're going to be bullish on AI and continuously just looking to expand the use cases. So as you should know, it is easier to retain and scale with existing clients rather than just acquiring new ones. So you want to be structuring your retainers around continuous value through monthly optimization reviews, where you're going to be identifying new opportunities and any strategic consulting calls, just maximizing automation investments and offering them priority support, ensuring optimal performance or performance monitoring and documenting ongoing value, and also proactive identification of new automation challenges. Now, who is actually buying? It shows the most consistent demand is coming from professional services, including marketing agencies, consulting firms, law practices, accounting firms, e-commerce, and retail, especially those with larger product catalogs or any complex inventory and manufacturing and distribution for supply chain optimization, quality control, and predictive maintenance, plus healthcare and professional services for any compliance tracking, patient management, and automated documentation. Now, keep in mind, I usually never steer people towards healthcare because compliance is very difficult to achieve, especially within HIPAA. And this is something that our company has battled with in the past. Now, the sweet spot that you're going to be targeting is companies doing $500,000 to $15 million annually. Now, these all have real operational challenges justifying sophisticated solutions, but they aren't so large that they have dedicated IT teams that they're building internally. Now, before we get into the next section, I just wanted to mention that if you are looking for help doing all of this and just a way to speed up your learning process of running your own AI automation agency, then we are taking on just 2 more people to work one-on-one with myself and my team, where we will literally handhold you to starting and growing your AI business and teaching you everything from A to Z, whether that's how to actually source and find clients, or just how to build out everything and build relevant solutions for your audience and much more. So we will guarantee you that you will start closing clients within 90 days. And if you do not, we offer a full refund, but just to preface, this isn't needed to be successful, and it's just a way to actually help those who have been asking for this sort of thing and want to learn everything that we have done and the best frameworks for success to building their business even faster. So with that being said, we are very selective about who we work with. So again, that's why we only take on 2 people at a time. And the link to actually apply is going to be down below in the description. Now let's discuss moving up the value chain a bit. So building authority through education really means just starting to share what you know through YouTube or LinkedIn or any blogs and newsletters. So this is just where you're going to be teaching any fundamentals about automation, AI, and business process improvement. And this in turn, it builds authority and it attracts inbound leads. So you do not need to be a guru to teach. You just build in public, you share what you are learning as you go. So starting my personal brand, it was and is one of the best decisions that I've ever made. Another lesson is from implementation to consulting. And this happens as you start gaining experience and you can offer higher level consulting through any audits and strategy sessions and roadmaps. And you can even help clients identify automation opportunities and select tools and design systems. Beyond this, you're charging for your expertise, not just your time. Another thing to note is that end-to-end system building, it is where the biggest money is going to be made. And it's in the custom workflows and integrations and ongoing support. So you can be doing this solo or you can build a team. Just don't try everything at once. So you want to be starting with, these simple projects and get results and use those as stepping stones to these bigger deals. Now, here is going to be some of the biggest lessons if you're going to be getting any from this video. So my biggest mistake, it was pricing too low and just undercutting any perceived value. So saving an hour a day, it compounds massively over time. And when you can actually demonstrate that your AI system will generate an additional $200K in revenue or save $150,000 in operational costs, then charging $25,000 for implementation, it really becomes an easy decision for them. Another big learning piece for us was the power of specialization. And this really became clear to us when we were trying to wear all these different types of hats, nearly killing the business, and bringing on partners who can actually specialize in different things. So like I'm in sales, my partner is in technical fulfillment, or having a project manager was actually pivotal and critical for our success or future success. So I'd highly encourage you to, join communities, check out our free community. We have about 12,000 people where you'd be able to partner up with guys and, find any guys who have different specialties in different areas and work together when it makes sense. Now, one of the final lessons is building systems versus staying in delivery. And this is going to be crucial because too many agency owners, they really get trapped just doing the work instead of building the systems that do the work. So this is just where you want to focus on creating processes and teams that can actually deliver without any of your constant improvement. So you really want to be removing yourself, removing your agency. So here's your 30-day plan. Week 1 is picking your vertical just by starting with your own background or your network. Do not overthink it. Just pick one and go extremely deep within it. You can always pivot later. Week 2, this is conducting discovery interviews by sending 20 LinkedIn messages or whatever the maximum amount of messages that you can do before the platform limits your daily 2 decision makers. Now, week 2, this is just going to be conducting discovery interviews by sending about 20 LinkedIn messages or whatever the maximum amount that you can do before the platform limits you. Doing this daily to decision makers in your niche. So you can be asking them open-ended questions about pain points, what is annoying for them, what is preventing their growth, what do they wish they could automate. So make just a list of the top 5 to 10 recurring problems. And then from there, we'll go into week 3. And this is just building your first free project by picking one pain point that got strong reactions, building a simple demo or solution for that business, a friend, or nonprofit in exchange for testimonials and permission to use them as a case study. This will lead you into a week 4, which is just launching outreach campaigns by starting to send personalized cold emails and Loom videos to prospects in your vertical. So ideally, week 4, you may not have any solutions that you've built out by then for different businesses and have any results that you can showcase. But if you do, use your case study as proof. If not, just offer guarantees to remove any risk for them. So some essential tools to be getting started. It can include, using Instantly, Apollo, Appify, and then you can use video creation with Loom for any personalized outreach. And then you can automate some different things like enriching your emails with N8N, a range of different things as well. Now, the AI transformation market, it is creating massive opportunities right now. It's what we are doing. It's what we're seeing our students doing. And the businesses getting biggest returns, they aren't chasing trendy tools. They're solving real operational bottlenecks that actually quietly drain thousands every single month. And what separates these leaders from the rest is just how they think about AI. And it's not as add-ons, but as core infrastructure that actually reshapes how these companies run. So instead of just patching problems with disconnected tools, they're starting to integrate AI into the heart of their processes and beating out the competitors. And this window for AI first transformation, it is open right now, but it will not last forever. And the companies that do establish themselves in the next few months to 12 months, they will be capturing the majority of long-term value. So stop watching YouTube videos, stop watching this video, stop thinking about AI as tools to add to your business and start thinking about it as the foundation for how businesses will operate. And the opportunity, it's extremely massive if you can't tell already. So just make sure that you're going to be positioned to actually capture your share. Now, if you found this video valuable, please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. Join my free community with over 12,000 members. Start networking with other people. Network with other AI enthusiasts and entrepreneurs. Ask me questions directly. Access any other templates and guides. So again, the link is down below in the description. But just to say again, the only way to get clients is to start with real pain, picking a vertical, and getting in the trenches. So don't waste months or even days just learning every tool or building things nobody cares about. You have to talk to real businesses and solve real problems. And the clients, they will follow, I promise. So just get out there, close some deals, and do not let this opportunity pass you by. So thank you guys for watching. If you stuck around this far, again, please like, subscribe, comment down below what your thoughts are. If you have any other things that you'd like to see me upload in the near future or things that might help you, your company, let me know. Drop it down in the comments. But thank you guys again. I'll see you guys in the next video.